The Sims has been giving out a ton of free items as part of a daily login rewards event for the past few weeks, and I have some kind of mixed feelings about this. First of all, it's free, which is a huge deal. It's always a good thing when this ridiculously expensive game gives out anything for free. Most people don't have access to that many packs, and I'd argue that a lot of people have access to no packs. So anytime there's free content, it's exciting, but this free content in particular has been pretty cool. I'd say it's a pretty decent mix of some build items, some cast stuff, and even some gameplay. These are all items that we technically already have in the game. Just to give an example, we do have a dartboard already from Get Together, and this is like a reskin of that existing dartboard. But if you don't have Get Together, then this dartboard is a brand new item for you. And even if you do have Get Together, we only have one, and it's very traditional looking, so it's cool to have a second variant. This necklace is kind of like a combo of two other necklaces that we already have. This vending machine is basically a recolor reskin of the high school years vending machine, but it sells different foods. So I have seen some criticism of what these items are, just because they're kind of duplicates of things that we already have, but I personally don't really feel that way. Speaking as a person who has all of the packs, yeah, I already have this stuff, but the pillow that I have just has a few swatches. This pillow has a ton more of extra options. Yeah, I've got a mini fridge, but this mini fridge is kind of cool and it matches all the new furniture. So I'm not really gonna complain about having more variants. And the best part about this is that it gets access to these items to people that don't have the packs. There's not that many mini fridges, and if you don't have university, you don't have a mini fridge. So this gives a cool new item to a ton of people that otherwise wouldn't have access to it. And I'm not gonna complain about that. The issue I have is more with the rollout of this event. I really do appreciate their intentions here, because the goal of this whole thing was to reward Sims players. The whole idea was to get people to play the game, but also to reward their most active players. And I don't think it's a bad thing to want to reward people who play your game a lot. In fact, I think it's kind of a nice thought to want to give something to those most active players. I think there's just something that feels a little bit off anytime they make something limited time only in The Sims. I've kind of been comparing it to the early purchase, early bonus content that you can get with expansion packs now, where if you don't buy the expansion pack right away, then you miss out on a couple extra items and you can never get them again. And I've been complaining about that system for years, and this is kind of the same thing. It's just free, so it's not as offensive. But I really hate that if you don't get this now, then you miss out on it forever. So the way this worked is you had to log in a certain number of times in each week to claim every prize. So in week 1, you had to log in 3 times. In week 2, you had to log in twice. In week 3, you had to log in twice. And now in week 4, just once to get all of the prizes. But there's a million reasons that a person could just not be able to play right now. And I hate that it causes them to potentially miss out on something cool just because they're busy or they had something going on. I mean, just to give you an example, during this event, I went to see my grandma in Chicago. I was supposed to stay for just the weekend, but then she had to go to the hospital, so I extended my trip a few days. And what if I had missed out on one of these items because I was helping my grandma in the hospital? And I'm one of the most active Sims players. I play this game every single day, but just because for 1 week I was busy, I might have missed out on something. And so many people have finals right now and all this stuff going on at the end of the school year. So it's just kind of a weird time to be doing this. And yeah, you only have to open the game, so it's not that hard to do it, but a lot of people don't have time for that. So I think I just kind of hate the timed nature of this. I almost wish that it was indefinite. Like, I'm not mad about you having to open the game to get the items, but if you could just open it 8 times whenever and get the items, be it now or 6 months from now, I think I would be okay with that. My main thing is that I just don't want people to miss out. It sucks that people could miss out on this. And then the other big thing is that they totally flopped the rollout of this. I didn't learn this until yesterday, and it totally changed my entire perception of the whole event. But these rewards are stored locally on your computer. They're not tied to your EA account. So even if you have all of the login rewards, if your laptop dies tomorrow, you go to the store, you get a new computer, you freshly install The Sims, you will not have them anymore because the proof that you unlocked them was stored locally on that broken laptop. Now, I don't really know why they did this. I assume it was an ease thing, like maybe using the EA app and the login and proof of your account was too much, so this was an easier effort to make. But the way that it works is basically everybody has these items in their game. They're just hidden in your game. And then once you unlock them, they just turn on a checkbox and then it shows it for you. So that's why it's stored locally just in settings in your Sims 4 folder. So yes, on one hand, it is really bad because if you lose the folder, you don't have proof of your unlocks anymore. But because they're in everybody's game, they're kind of easy to get. At least the build items are pretty easy to get. If you go on the gallery and you just search login rewards, a ton of people have uploaded rooms with all of the items in them. So you could download one of these rooms and just place it. And even if you, oh, I don't have enough money. And even if you don't have them unlocked, this will still work and you can still access them this way. And then you can just take the item out of here and like change the swatch or whatever. The only problem is you can't really do that for the cast items or for the trait, but at least you can access the gameplay items in build mode. I do have a couple of other tips about how to back up your files so that you don't lose them that I'll talk about more at the end of the video. But for now, I want to go back and show you all of the items. I kind of recorded like a mini vlog each day when I unlocked the items and saw them for the first time. So I'm going to take you back to past Simsie now and we can start going through everything. I just opened my game and I got the new login rewards event pop up for the first time. We first heard about this a couple of days ago, but they hadn't actually announced it themselves yet. So we didn't really know when it was going to start or like how it was going to actually work. So I kind of want to check this out with you. It says the event ends in 34 days and 18 hours on July 4th at 5 a.m. And this week's rewards are the Bullseye Dartboard, the Night Sky Layered Necklace, and the Gurdon Goods Mini Fridge and NanoCan 2.0. And then we kind of have a small roadmap of the next things. So when I click claim my reward, oh, okay, we can see all of them more. So this is the first one. Game on, protect your wall from dart holes with the Bullseye Dartboard. And it says activities and skills. Find this item in build mode under the activities and skills or use the new event rewards filter. And you can actually click on everything. So we can see all of the stuff a little bit better now. I must say, we've seen all of these things already in build mode, which I'll show you, but I haven't seen the trait yet. This is the practice makes perfect trait. Sims with this trait learn skills faster, even if they are a bit slower at first. I think it's really interesting that they made a trait for this. I think also this compact bar is my second most interesting item because it's a 1 tile wide bar. We unfortunately cannot get this until next week, but I can claim this for the first time. So I should be able to see this in game. Oh, they made this very obvious. We have a whole big thing on the main menu. It says how to claim rewards. Oh, there's a tutorial. That's so cute. So this is the new Bullseye dartboard. We do have a dartboard already from Get Together, but it's totally different looking. The Get Together dartboard is very fancy. This one is very simple. It doesn't have like any frills on the top, basically is what I mean. And it comes in some kind of cute pastel colors. So I'm not mad about that. I assume it works the same. So I actually kind of like this. I think it's cool how now every person that has the base game that logs in has the ability to get a cool item like this. It's a totally new gameplay item for most people. Not everybody owns Get Together, and even if you do own Get Together, this one I think is a little bit easier to use than the Get Together one because it's so much simpler. And I kind of forget to use this item, so them giving me a new one is kind of reminding me like, oh yeah, I forgot that thing exists. It's just a reskin. It's gonna have the same animations and stuff as the other one, but I'm not mad. I think this is kind of cool. I did want to show you how you can actually access all of the things right now. So if you filter by event rewards, obviously you can see the new Bullseye dartboard. It's got an interesting tag on it too, which is kind of cool. So it makes it obvious that it's a special item. But the problem is if you start filtering by all the different colors, you can see all of the items, even the ones that are not out yet. So these are items that I technically have not earned yet, so they shouldn't be here, except they're still in your game. This is like a failure of them on the tagging part of this, because the way this whole thing works is everybody has the items in their game. They just have to unlock them for you and like allow you to have them once you've earned it, but they improperly tagged them, so they're showing up in those filters when they're not supposed to be, which is kind of funny. So I'll be kind of curious to see how the next few days turn out with these. I'm still feeling kind of unsure about them. I don't love that people can miss out on this stuff forever. So on one hand, I'm really excited that everybody that plays the base game has an option for some new free stuff. I respect their desire to like reward active Sims players. I understand they're trying to get people excited to want to play the game and like try to entice you to log in. I understand their motives. I just wish that it didn't possibly leave people out and it like punishes you for being busy or for having a lot going on and being unable to play. And that's what I don't love very much. I wish that there was a way to reward players without also punishing people that miss out at the same time. Like maybe if there was more time, it would be better. I don't really know. I don't want to come down too hard on them for this though, because I still like that they're giving out free stuff. So I don't want to like scare them off from making free stuff. I guess we'll just see if my feelings on that change over the month as these things keep coming out. It's only day 1, so I've got a lot of questions still. All right, it's day 2. It looks like we can claim the night sky layered necklace today, so I will be grabbing that one. And I'm kind of curious to check this out in cast. Oh, okay. Looked like it was gonna crash for a second there. That was kind of scary. We're gonna test this out. The sim needs to at least have some sort of nice starting point outfit. We can't have bright yellow boots on. If I filter by event rewards, here's the new necklace. Oh, that's actually really nice. You know, sometimes the necklaces that we get, oh, we don't have anything like that either. Sometimes we get some kind of weird jewelry in this game, or sometimes it doesn't really fit them that well, or the texture is kind of weird. I feel like this is actually a really nice necklace. It's just a necklace. It's a very simple necklace, but I'm not mad about this. It's always nice to have more jewelry, especially since the base game really doesn't have that many necklaces. It's not my favorite thing, but I'm not gonna complain about this. I'm not mad. Hello from day 3. Today we're getting the Gurdon Goods mini fridge and NanoCan 2.0, and these are both appliances. There isn't a mini fridge in the base game, and this is a recolor of that money trash can. The money trash can is one of the most useful items in the game because you get money back when you put plates in there, but it only comes in one swatch. So having a recolor of it with some more normal looking variants is actually kind of huge. So I'm gonna claim this real quick and then we can pop into game and check it out. I actually did have a moment of panic this morning because I thought that I missed it. I haven't been on my PC at all in like 3 days. I took a few days off after my fundraiser ended, so I literally didn't come to my computer at all. And this morning I was in bed like, oh my god, did I miss out on the last reward this week? No, I didn't. It's fine. I gotta be honest, I am most excited about that trash can. So this is the default trash can, and this is the new NanoCan 2.0. As you can see, no swatches by default, but this one just comes in a lot of simple colors, like simple plain wood colors, which is so nice. And I assume that it functions exactly the same. So if I had my sim come get some food out of this fridge, like some cheese crackers, when you drag trash into there, you get 10 simoleons per sim in your household. So if I had 8 sims, I would get 80 simoleons for 1 plate. This is like a complete game changer for things like the 100 baby challenge, for early days of legacy challenges. It's kind of expensive when you first get it, but it really starts to pay for itself. This one's 300. It's 300? Oh my god. The regular one is 1200. This feels like cheating. Oh, that's huge. I didn't realize it was gonna be so much cheaper. I'm really, really, really pleased about that. This gutsy guardian, hello? Oh, my cat's yelling, sorry. This gutsy guardian of garbage will gladly gulp your grimy gifts. Wow, okay. That's kind of gross. I like the description. And then the other new item is this Gurdon Goods mini fridge. What? I know, do you not like it? Snap speaking her mind. So this one is 350, which is cheaper than the cheapest regular base game fridge. So that's helpful if you only have the base game for like rags to riches type challenges. It comes in all the same wooden colors. It's nice and simple. Lots of simple woods, but also a couple colorful ones like this yellow and pink one. And it functions like any fridge. It's just smaller than a regular fridge. It's basically the same as this one, except it doesn't have any of the little like icons on it. I'm actually surprised that this one only came in 4 swatches, to be honest. So it's really nice to have a base game variant, and I'm excited for base game players to have access to both of these things because those are really useful for gameplay, like more useful than you might expect them to be. So far, this is the best day of all 3 rewards. Oh my god, my cat is on my lap. She's really demanding attention today. But I think that these 2 items, first of all, there's 2 of them, so that's big. But these 2 I think are the most useful. Not that the dartboard and the necklace aren't fun, but I feel like I'm gonna use those 2 things way more often than either of the other 2. So that wraps it up for this week, and I am excited to see what next week brings. Okay, so it's week 2 now of the login event rewards, and we've got a new pop-up and a new week with 2 new rewards to claim. I think the first one is this compact bar, which is one of the ones I was most excited excited for. It's made to match the base game counters and the base game bar, except it's only 1 tile wide, so it fits in more places. That seems kind of dumb, but as a person who likes to build, I am really interested in that. This week should also hopefully be a little bit easier to get because it's just 2 items instead of 3, so we only have to log in twice. And I'm starting out with the bar, and I'm gonna, oh my god, it kind of like lags every time you click on it. I'm gonna go check that out in game. Oh, due to ongoing maintenance of the EA app, older versions of the game will become incompatible after June 10th. Update before then to keep launching your game normally. Okay, yikes. I feel like one of the problems with bars in this game is just how big they are. It makes it kind of hard to use. So in the base game, we've got a couple different variants. We have this 3 tile wide one, we have this 2 tile wide one, and then they made a matching single tile bar. I've been so curious to test this one out. So it works the same as all the other bars. It also has the same colors as these other 2 bars. What I was really curious to see was how it fit in with countertops, because it looks like they've made it intentionally slot in really nicely with the regular island counters. And that's what I was hoping for, because I really liked the idea of being able to mix and match this in more places. So with it being this small, you can really slot that in anywhere. I wonder what it looks like when you put it next to the regular counters, because yeah, the problem is it's the same size as an island counter, so you can't really use it with regular ones, but you can use it with islands. And something else kind of interesting to note about those island counters and these bars in general is that you can scoot it up against the wall if you want to. You might think that it has to be like face this way outside of the wall, but no one has to sit or stand on this side, so you can scoot that in. They just need to stand here where the big green square is. So as long as a sim can stand there and operate the bar, it works fine. They put the finished drinks up here, people can still grab them from the back. You don't have to have it like floating in the middle of the room. So if you wanted to, you could kind of like tuck that in to your counter somewhere and try and like fit it in against the wall, and that would still be fine. With it being just a single tile, there are a lot of new options for this. You can use this in so many more ways. It looks pretty good too. There's just like some drinks down there. It's very simple, so it's easy to mix and match, it looks like. I'm really happy about this item. This one I think is the best one so far, at least for me. I'm gonna use it a lot, I think. It's hard to use the bars, so this is gonna make it a lot more easy to fit it in places. I feel like maybe most people won't care about this one, but if you're a builder, it'll interest you. So that's number 4, and I guess we just wait until tomorrow for the next one. Hello from day 5. I think that this is the one that I'm least excited about out of all of these things. I feel like this one is probably one of the ones that's getting the most criticism as well online. People have been kind of talking about how these all suck because they're just recolors of things that we already have. But I don't really think of them as being recolors. They're kind of like reskins almost. Like this one's a weird combination of a couple other necklaces. Yeah, we already have a dartboard, but it looks different. This one though is literally just a recolor of the cat's and dog's hair. At least I think it is. So I'm gonna claim this real quick and then we can check it out in cast to confirm. The problem is it's a recolor of a hair that I don't like. Like I already don't like that cat's and dog's hair, so I don't love the idea of having a recolored version of it. I don't want to complain too much because I do like having a new hairstyle, but I don't know, I just don't like the textures of this one already. So this is what it looks like in all of the different colors. There is something that feels a little bit off about it. I think it's just how it's sitting on her shoulders that's maybe looking a little bit weird, like this fold almost that happens. But I guess that happens with a lot of long hairs in this game. I don't know. It's not the best. They've definitely made better long hairs before, but I guess it doesn't hurt to have another one. This is the hair that it's a recolor of. Yeah. It's the exact same thing. Okay, so this cats and dogs hair, this one has always been kind of hard to use because there's no plain swatch. It's only a hair that has like the ombre effect to it. Normally these days, if they did something like this, they would make a plain version and the colorful version, but they didn't back then. Oh my god, some of these are really bad. Yeah, there's a reason that I never use this hair, and this is the reason. I just don't, oh wow, okay. I just don't think it looks very good. So of all the hairs to recolor, this is probably like one of the worst ones they could have done. I'm not super happy about this. I mean, again, it's not a bad thing to have new hairs. Like, I'm okay with getting another new hair. I just wish it was maybe slightly better constructed. There's like something odd about how it sits around her face. The texture's kind of off. I mean, you can even see it here. It's just not their best work. So I think I stand by this being my least favorite of the rewards so far. It's also only for adults. I don't think we have have it for kids or anything. And also, I'm more of a builder, so of course I'm gonna like the build ones better. As far as the next rewards go, I'm really excited about all 3 of these. I love the idea of a base game pillow, obsessed with the idea of a new trait, and also the new vending machine is gonna be genuinely really useful for like all kinds of builds, because so often I wanna make like a base game gym and there's no vending machine in the base game, so you can't really put food there at the gym. But this is gonna be a complete game changer, so I'm looking forward to those 3 items. As of right now, I think I'd probably rank the bar number 1, the fridge and trash can number 2, the dartboard number 3, necklace 4, and hair 5. Is kind of where I'm at. And I will see you next week for the rest of the rewards. It is officially the 3rd week of this event now, and we've got this week the pillow and the new trait, which are both things that I'm really excited about. I think the pillow is first. This is the casual comfort pillow. It's just like a decorative throw pillow. We have one of these already, but it's only from the Modern Luxe kit. So the idea of another one that's a recolor, it's plain, simple, solid colors, it's base game now, so everybody can have it. This really excites me. You've probably seen people before using like fake chairs and sizing them down to try and make it look like throw pillows on couches. So having something like this that is an actual throw pillow is pretty exciting. And tomorrow we're gonna get a new trait, which is one of the things that I am most excited about out of all of this stuff. Hello? Oh, she's excited about the trait too. The cat is also interested in this practice makes perfect trait. But for now, I want to pop in and look at this pillow real quick. Ignore the fact that Nancy's not here, okay? Ignore the fact that I got rid of her. We are here to look at this new casual comfort pillow. It's only 85 simoleons. You can never have too many pillows or ice cream flavors, but at least the pillows won't melt, okay? This is what the pillow looks like. This might be a kind of weird seeming item to you if you're not familiar with the concept, because you can't like slot it to a couch or anything. It does slot onto tables, and I know it looks quite weird when you just look at it. Like, it just kind of sitting here. It is strange, okay? I know. But look, it comes in so many different colors. It looks like it matches. Oh, I think it matches all the base game colors. So all the base game couch swatches, it comes in the same colors as those. Normally I complain about that, but I guess that does make it pretty versatile. If you wanted to use it on a couch, you'd have to use the move objects cheat, and then you can kind of like freely place stuff anywhere, and then you would press 9 to raise it up, and then you could kind of like scoot it into the corner and sort of custom place the pillow. This is nice because you could even size it down using the left bracket key, and you can kind of like customize how it all looks on there. I want to see if they'll sit on this fine still, because I don't really normally do this. Oh, they do. Oh my goodness, that makes this so easy. Oh, that's pretty cool. We do have one of these already, and I think it's the same asset. This one's just recolored. Yeah, this is the exact same as the perfect pillow that comes in the Modern Luxe kit. The only difference is the pillow from the kit is a little bit fancier because it has like some texture and some pattern to it, which isn't a bad thing. It just makes it a little bit harder to use. So this one coming in all these different colors and it being solid is pretty easy to mix and match with. And then you can kind of mix and match the two of them together if you have both the packs, because I feel like most times you probably want to use more than one pillow. So this is a win. I'm pretty happy about this. It's the same price. Again, it's the same asset, just recolored and pulled to the base game. So I'm not gonna complain. I'm excited about this one. I know it might be kind of weird if you're not a builder, but I think that's okay. There are a lot of people who are gonna be really, really into this item. That does make me sad if you miss out on it though, because if it goes away and you've missed the chance to get it, like this one's kind of a cool, unique thing that we don't have anything else like in the game. But I guess the same could be said for all of this stuff. Like, it kind of just sucks to miss out on anything. Well, I guess I'll catch you tomorrow then for the next thing. I'm actually getting kind of sad because we're almost done with this, but today's reward is the one that I was maybe the most excited about, or at least the most curious about, because it's a new trait. All of the other ones are just assets, like simple recolors or reskins of things that we already have, but this one I assume has new gameplay tied to it. It's the practice makes perfect trait, and it says Sims with this trait learn skills faster even if they are a bit slower at first. So I guess early in the skill they gain slower, but as they play more they get quicker with learning it. I'll have to test this out because I'm not really understanding how it's gonna work. It's very rare that we get new traits in this game, so I'm kind of curious to test it out. It's under the emotional category, it it looks like this. I kind of just want to pick a couple random traits that hopefully won't impact us too much, like cheerful and good. And then I'll probably pick a romance aspiration because that also probably won't impact us too much. And I'm just gonna use a random sim. I mean, I'm here purely for testing purposes. Okay, the game maybe doesn't want to test it. So for this experiment, I've got 2 random sims. They have mostly the same traits. Joanna is cheerful, good, and has the practice makes perfect trait. And then I gave Lonnie cheerful and good and then family oriented because I figured it wouldn't impact things too much. And I'm gonna have them both work on painting and we'll see who builds the skill faster. I see immediately she got this pop-up momentum from practice makes perfect trait. Joanna is on a roll and will be more efficient at creative skills. Okay, so we'll just watch them and we'll see if they manage to build it faster. Annoyingly, he did start like 2 seconds before she did. Oh my god, leave me alone. Santa inviting me to go to space is like really something. It's weird because it says she'll be more effective at creative skills, but it gave her the focused moodlet. And it looks like he's building it way faster. She also finished the painting quicker than him, but his skill is significantly higher. We did know that was gonna happen because she's supposed to build the skill slower at first. So he's already level 2 and she's not. But I assume at a certain point she'll start building it quicker. She finally got level 2 and he's almost level 3. I really wonder when the effects that are positive start to kick in because at a certain point it's most valuable to build skills early on. So it taking this much longer is not helpful. Maybe this trait is like not useful. And she keeps getting a fear of failure. I think because her paintings keep turning out bad. Oh my god. At this current moment, I don't like this trait. He's still a full skill point ahead of her. It looks like they're close, but she's almost level 3 and he's almost level 4. I think what I'll try now is I'll give them both level 7 because that's gotta be high enough for her to start benefiting from it, right? So I'll give them both level 7 and maybe we'll see who gets their skill up faster with a higher skill. What are you doing? They're also both feeling inspired, so that should help us. So we're in a race now to see who can get a higher skill because you'd think that with this trait, she's meant to build it faster once she's further into it. And it actually looks like she is. It's very subtle. But it looks like it's working. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it is slight, but she does have a noticeable skill boost compared to him. It just makes you wonder if that skill boost makes up for the delay when you're low skill level, because this will affect every single skill they do. So they're slower at the cooking skill, at the handiness skill, at everything that you need on a daily basis, and they do get better at it, but just after they have a high skill level, and I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I see myself using this very often. Maybe I'll use it if I'm making sims that I'm not actively playing with, and I'll have to test it out more, but I don't know. Oftentimes traits become more like storytelling features to me than things that are useful for gameplay, and I'm struggling to see if I think this one will be useful for gameplay long term. I'm not mad about it though. I like the idea of more base game traits. I just don't like being slower at learning skills, I guess. But I think that covers it, so I will see you next week for the final item. Well, we have finally reached the last day of the login event, and today we're getting the Gerd on Goods vending machine and athleisure wear. And maybe I'm silly for this, but this entire time I did not know about the athleisure. I thought it was just the vending machine. I guess looking at it now it makes sense because there's a sim in the picture, but this whole time I didn't really register that the clothes were new too. So I'm gonna claim this and then we will go and check out both of these things. And it looks like the clothing is available for kids as well, which is a first for this whole event. We don't have anything for kids so far. I am a lot more excited about the new vending machine, so I'm gonna start with the clothing. The only problem is I don't know how to find it. When I look at the hair, I can click special and then hit event rewards, but when I do that for shirts, nothing pops up. Oh, is it a full body outfit? Oh, it's like all one thing. Okay, sorry, I assumed that it would be a shirt and a pair of pants. It's all one matching set. I don't hate this. We don't really have a lot of matching sets like this, so I guess I'm not mad. There's not any shoes or anything. It's just the full body outfit. It's available for kids too. They have a matching one, so you can have your Sims wear little matching outfits if you want to. I assume it's not available for toddlers, and it is not, okay? It is available for adult masculine frame Sims though, so any adult and any child can wear this outfit. That's all right. I like this purple color, but I just don't really care about Cass that much, so it doesn't interest me that much. What I really care about is the new vending machine. I have been waiting for this one the entire time. We don't currently have any vending machines in the base game. There are a couple vending machines in the game, but most of them are from Snowy Escape. We've got one from High School Years, and there's one that comes in Get to Work. And I really like using these vending machines on community lots because I think it's kind of nice to have a vending machine at the gym or at the museum, like just kind of tucked away in a corner in case you need to buy food. It makes a little bit more sense to me to have a vending machine than to have like a grill in these random places. So finally having one in the base game is actually huge. This is the Gerd on Goods vending machine, so it matches the new trash can and the new mini fridge. Grab a gift of goodies with this great gadget by Gerd on Goods. From gum and grape juice to ginger ale and granola, this is your one-stop shop for all of your alliterative appetizer needs. So it's kind of a silly item. We're used to all these swatches now because we've seen a couple other things that match it. It's got kind of that nice wood texture across the front. You don't like it? Okay, she doesn't like it. Snap said no. And when you click on it to make a purchase, you should get this little pop-up, and they have chicken nuggets, edamame, garden salad, ham and cheese sandwich, slice of cake, and yogurt melts. It is kind of a random selection of foods, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really expect it to be these. I'm gonna get a cake slice, I think. And then it just puts the food in your inventory so that they can eat it. All of that is pretty cheap as well. When you compare that to like the refrigerated goods, whatever it's called, this is the one from Get to Work, and it actually works like a fridge. It's kind of weird, but this has a sandwich, a pre-made meal, a pastry, a faux BLT. I guess they all have like proper meals. The ones from High School Years kind of have snack food, and the ones from Snowy Escape have way more stuff. The Snowy Escape ones even have items, like you can buy collectibles and stuff. So you can kind of tell that this item is the same as the High School Year one, just kind of reskinned. The High School Years one has like a Twinkie and pizza roll-ups and soda. And then this one is the stuff from Snowy Escape. So they've got a couple cakes, they've got a carrot, they have some tea. Pricing wise, they're all very similar. They're all about 1,500 simoleons. The main bonus here is that this one is base game. So you can use it anywhere and anybody can use it anywhere. I see myself using this a lot, to be honest. I don't think that it has any deaths or anything tied to it. Only the Snowy Escape ones do, so you can use this without worry. You're not gonna get crushed by it, and I'm glad to have it. It's a nice feature for community lots and stuff, but that kind of wraps us up for the entire month of rewards. I do have a couple of tips for you for some ways to save these items or to access them if you didn't unlock them. I mentioned earlier how to get the build items off the gallery, and that works even if you don't have them unlocked. But if you do have them unlocked and you want to back up that file so you can keep it when you transfer PCs, I'm gonna teach you how to do that now. If you've used mods or custom content, you're probably familiar with this file path, but you need to go to Documents, Electronic Arts, and then your Sims 4 folder. In here, you're gonna see a ton of things. It looks kind of scary, but I swear it's not. There's a couple files that you're probably gonna want to back up just anyway. Your saves folder is probably the biggest one. If you're a person who likes to play long Sim saves for like legacies and generations, and you would be really upset if you lost a household that you've been playing with for a long time, you might want to save this saves folder in like your Google Drive or on an external hard drive. And I'd encourage you to update that frequently just so you have a recent backup, because God forbid your laptop fries or you spill water on it and then you can't get into it anymore. That way you've got an external backup of your important save file. Your tray folder is your entire library, so your like offline gallery stuff, that's pretty important too. But that's unrelated for our purposes. We are talking specifically about these login unlocks, and those are stored in this user setting file. You'll see it's a configuration settings file. It's like usersettings.ini. That is what you want to back up if you don't want to lose your unlocks. I'm actually going to show you what I mean. I'm going to completely move this folder out of my Electronic Arts folder. And if I open The Sims 4 right now, it's going to be like a fresh game. I won't have my saves. I won't have my unlocks. Even my settings are going to be different. So it'll be like I just got a new computer and I'm starting The Sims 4 for the first time. And you can see that it's given me a pop-up to try and claim the rewards. It wants me to start over from scratch because I don't have any of them yet. I'm going to close the game again real quick. This is now a fresh start Sims 4 folder. When I open it, you'll see I've got a new user setting file. I don't want that. What I'll do instead is go to my old Sims 4 folder and I'll get my old user settings file. I want to put that one in my new Sims 4 folder. So I would have that file saved on like a hard drive or in my Google Drive. And when I get my new computer, I'll bring my backed up saves folder, my backed up user settings file, and I'll open my game again. Oh dear God. It's trying to get me to click through every single pack because it thinks I just got them new. Well, the point that I was trying to make is that because I had that user settings file backed up, I still have all my login rewards. They're still still claimed. So if you get a new computer, I would really encourage you to back up that file just so you don't lose access to them. They really should not have stored them locally. I think that was a huge mistake on their part, but at least now you hopefully know how to fix it in case something goes wrong. They really should not have stored them locally. I think that was a huge mistake on their part because so many people are not gonna know this. You're lucky because you saw my video when I explained it to you, but think about how many thousands of people are not gonna see this. They won't know how it works. And if you play on console, I don't even think you can back it up. So while I'm very excited to have some new free stuff, I'm really glad that a lot of you all are gonna have these cool new items for the first time. I just wish that they had rolled it out differently. I almost wish that it was just an SDX drop, to be honest. I wish everybody just had this stuff without all of the extra confusion. And I know that they made it because they're trying to encourage people to open the game more often. Like, I understand their motivations. I get their intentions to try and get us to play more Sims. It makes sense from their part. I just really hate that people can miss out. That's my main issue. I just hate that you can lose out on this. But hopefully this video was at least a little bit helpful to you. And I actually made an entire video a while back where I explained every single thing in the Sims 4 folder. And I'll link that down below for you too. It can be kind of intimidating, so I just want you to have access to knowledge to know how it works. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on these free items down below. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? I think my least favorite is the hair, but my favorites are tied between the new money trash can and the vending machine. And with that, I'm gonna end this video right here. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay? Bye, everybody. Oh my gosh, this video is probably so long. I don't even know how long my mini vlogs were. I talk so much.